Hi, welcome to the National Alliance of Public Charter Schools webinar on how to celebrate National Charter Schools Week 2020. I'll be your moderator today. My name is Brittany Exum. I am the Manager of Communications and Marketing at the National Alliance. Before I introduce our panelists, I want to go over a couple of things. First, this webinar will be recorded and sent out to everyone who registered. Also, there is a question box. Feel free to write us any questions that you may have, and we will answer them at the end of the webinar. I'm going to introduce our communications team. We have Kim McCabe, our Senior Director of Communications, Shaylin Marcedonio, our Director of Media Relations, and Melinda Tolliver, our Senior Manager of Digital Strategy. I'm going to toss it to Kim.
Sorry, a little delay on my unmute there. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our National Charter Schools Week Toolkit webinar. We are really excited to host this webinar. It's our first time doing a webinar like this before National Charter Schools Week. But these days, we are all doing a lot of things we've never done before, so why not? We begin the planning process for National Charter Schools Week months in advance, but this year we ended up making a lot of last-minute changes. Typically, National Charter Schools Week is filled with celebrations and events in schools across the country, but we knew that wasn't going to work this year. So we've revamped our plans to include activities that you, your staff, and your students can participate in from the safety of your own homes. Our theme for National Charter Schools Week this year is above and beyond, because you are all truly going above and beyond to take care of your students and your communities. And we know that things are a little different for charter schools. There may be some unique challenges that you're facing right now because you're a charter school and not part of a district, but there's also a lot of flexibility that you have had to respond to the needs of your students and your communities. And we have heard some amazing stories about what charter schools are doing to support their students with remote learning. With providing meals, with donating supplies. Schools are truly at the heart of a community, and we see this now more than ever. So thank you to everyone on this call who's part of a school community. This week is really about celebrating you. So what we ask is that you help us give your schools the recognition that you deserve. Without the visibility of in-person events, it takes a little more effort to make ourselves heard. The news is crowded right now. Social media is crowded right now. And if we want to highlight the incredible things that our staff and students are doing, we need to be loud. We need you to participate and encourage your families to participate. Throughout the week, we are going to announce the winners of our inaugural Above and Beyond Awards. But these are just a few of the schools across the country that are going above and beyond. So if your school is not one of the schools we recognize this year, please make sure that you share your story with us so that we can help amplify your work too. This week, we're also going to recognize a member of Congress with our Charter Champion Lifetime Achievement Award for supporting charter schools and students throughout this person's career. And we're going to host a webinar highlighting how charter schools can be a part of how communities respond to a crisis. So please keep an eye out for more information about that one coming soon. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your support and for participating in National Charter Schools Week. Thank you for everything you're doing for your students and your families. And with that, I'm going to turn things over to Melinda to start talking about our plans for the week and how you can get involved.
Thanks, Kim. Hi, everyone. Thank you all again for joining us. I know it's a tough time for everyone right now, so we really appreciate your time. I want to talk through some of the ways that you can get involved on social media. Obviously, we want everyone in our community to participate. That's students, teachers, leaders, all our partners, and obviously all of you. So I wanted to share a few of the things we're thinking of for this year's celebration. So I've pulled up some of the graphics that we've created this year for y'all to use and share. So these are some of the graphics that have always been super popular. The general I love my charter school. So this will all be available on our website, which we'll direct you to after this call. So those are the social graphics. We also have coalition graphics, basically to communicate that our community is going above and beyond. So these will be for admin staff, teachers, leaders, students, alumni. So this is just a sample of a few of those, which will also be available in the digital toolkit. We'll also be have available picture frames for your Facebook profile pictures. I'm sure you guys have all seen them and kind of, in some cases, wondered how those come into play. So we'll have a link for this, and then you can just put it on whatever profile picture you have, and it will fit both the square size and the round size. We're particularly excited about this year. And if you share with your community, we can get as many people as possible to be talking about this. Additionally, we're doing a Spirit Week on Instagram, and this is another way that we just want to get as many people involved as possible, your students, your teachers. So on Monday, on Instagram, you can share photos of you wearing your school colors or kids in their school uniforms. Tuesday, show off the learning and teaching spaces. We know that everyone has their own unique space they're using to learn and teach students. And so it'd be great to see a bunch of those. On Wednesday, just let us know how you're staying happy and healthy. Everyone's doing that a different way. For me, I've been doing yoga. For some other teachers, they may be doing some arts and crafts, stuff like that. So just how you in particular and your community is staying happy and healthy. On Thursday, we're gonna take a look back with a Throwback Thursday from our schools. So sharing your favorite memory from this school year. On Friday, everyone should be sharing why they love your school, their schools, with hashtag Charter Love. That's our main event for that day, and we're really excited about it. It's just about sharing the reasons why you love your school, the ways that schools are showing their love for students, etc. And finally, on that should read Saturday, but just for fun, dressed as a superhero. I'm personally a big fan of the superhero films that have been out, and so I think that that'll get students excited, teachers excited, just to dress up for a little bit of fun. Another thing that we're hoping to do on Friday and throughout the week is just like an I Love Charter Schools. So we know that students are limited by what they can do at home, but just getting their faces out there and sharing why they love their charter school. They can create like little works of art and just take selfies with them, or take selfies and send them to their teachers. Teachers sharing that they miss students. We want to see it all. And that will be with hashtag Charter Love, as well as the hashtag Charter Schools Week that we use every year. I also wanted to show you the webpage really quick of where you'll be able to find the toolkit for schools and partners. You've probably seen this before, and we'll definitely share out the link after this call. And I think I'll kick it over to Shaylin to discuss some of the media efforts that we're doing.
Shaylin, I think your audio might not be working.
I was on mute. This is that funny. Hi, everyone. My name is Shaylin. I am the Director of Media Relations at the National Alliance for Public Charter Schools. We're so glad you guys tuned in. And one of the things I really wanted to talk about this week is on this webinar is, from a media perspective, National Charter Schools Week has the most bang for its buck at the local level. So what that means is media, local media, like your local Kalamazoo Gazette, is the most likely newspaper to write a story on National Charter Schools Week. Now, we know that you guys already have your hands full. You are already meeting so many needs in the community. And so what we did was we drafted a press release template that is based on our theme, Above and Beyond, to spotlight the ways that you guys are already going above and beyond to meet the needs of your community, and just tying that into the news hooked at the fact that May 10th through 16th is National Charter Schools Week. So on the website that Melinda was just on, you can find a press release template Feel free to customize it however you want, but basically we designed it so that it's kind of a plug and play template for each school, with the two main focuses being, one, how you guys are already going above and beyond to serve your students, whether that be through free and reduced price lunch, food distribution channels, providing Wi-Fi hotspots, Chromebooks, delivering printed packets. We know that you guys are already doing those things. So being able to tell that story within that press release template and tying it to National Charter Schools Week. Now, one of the other things we really wanted to do to advance the narrative of the charter school sector is not only spotlight what you guys are doing, but spotlight why charter schools are able to do it so well. So the fact that charter schools are autonomous, that they're independent, that they're public schools that have this flexibility to shift their budget around to meet the needs of students is something that you guys all have really seen during this pandemic. And so it would be awesome if you guys in the template, it's already laid out like this, but we're able to tie, that story, what you guys are already doing, to the fact that you're able to do it really well because of the charter school model is this independent, autonomous, flexible public school model that allows you guys to make some of these decisions without having to go through the bureaucracy of the district. Now, you'll notice in the template there's also space for a principal of your school to be quoted. There's space for a teacher in your school to be quoted, and that's just because reporters love to have characters for their stories. So if you're able to have like school leadership opining on the importance of the efforts you guys have done during COVID-19, and maybe a teacher talking about how she's seen the charter school model really serve kids during this time. Those are things that reporters love to see. They love characters, and you guys can, if you have any questions about the template, please feel free to email me directly, which we will share our emails. It's shaylin@publiccharters.org. Shaylin is, as you can see at the bottom of my screen. But it would be great if you push those out at the beginning of next week. And then if someone at your school has relationships with local reporters, then you can reach out to them directly and just say, hey, I want to make sure you saw this release talking about it's National Charter Schools Week, and here are some of the things that our school is already doing to serve the community in light of the way charter schools allow us to do that with the flexibility of their model. So with that, I will bump it back to Kim. Kim, did you have anything to add before questions?
Yeah, so definitely start thinking about your questions. If you have any, please send them to us in the Q&A box that Brittany referenced before. But I just thought I would do a little recap about kind of all the different things that we have for you to do this week. So I think if I were someone at a school, I would start by taking a look at the sample press release that Shaylin just talked about. Start working on filling in the blanks and thinking about who from the local media that you're going to send it to. And that can go out, right at the start of the week as things begin. So you can knock that out. Definitely go to our toolkit that we're going to send around after this webinar and grab some of those graphics and, pick out what you're going to do with your social media profile pictures and which ones you're going to use on your personal site. Maybe you're going to use a different one on your school's social media channels. And share things with your teachers and your families. So let them know that we have these graphics for social media, that we're going to be using hashtag Charter Schools Week and hashtag Charter Love. Have your teachers and your families ready to put together some artwork about why they love their charter school or how their charter school is going above and beyond right now. I can imagine there's going to be some pretty cute pictures from kids with like their teacher's face on a computer or something. So think about those things. Keep an eye out for our Spirit Week on Instagram. I, like Melinda, have a superhero costume prepared. So start to figure out what you're going to use for that day maybe. And also make sure you're following us on social media. We're going to send our links around after this call, but we're at Charter Alliance on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find us on Facebook at, I think it's Public Charters, like our website. Nope, it's not. Sorry, Melinda, I messed that one up. But we will send around the link after this so you don't have to rely on me. But anyway, we are really looking forward to next week. I hope that some, many, or all of these ideas sound like something that you would be able to implement with your schools. And like I said, let us know if you have any questions. We'll stick around for a little bit longer, and I will turn things over to Brittany.
Thank you, Kim. So throughout National Charter Schools Week and beyond, we're highlighting positive stories within the charter community. So if you have any stories that you would like to send me, please send them to Brittany. The spelling is on the screen, brittany@publiccharters.org. Also, we want to remind you that we're excited about your participation, and that it's your participation that will help shine a light on all the meaningful things that charter schools are doing in the community. So we look forward to celebrating National Charter Schools Week with you. We'll just leave a few more minutes to see if we have any questions.
We'll be sharing a direct link to the toolkit after this meeting. So everyone will get a direct link because that'll be the easiest way to get there.
I saw we had a potential question about how do we find the right local reporters to talk to. If you are in a small town, perhaps you have a local newspaper. I tend to use the example of the Kalamazoo Gazette, but maybe you live in a bigger city like Boston. Definitely go to your local reporter first. Local reporters love, your local education reporters specifically. They love writing about kids. Everybody loves to read about kids, so those articles are actually often clicked on websites. So go to your local education reporter. You can usually find them by going to the newspaper's website and then clicking on staff. You'll see someone designated as the local education reporter. But you can also send it out to a wider variety if you live in a bigger city like a Boston and maybe you're in the heart of the city. You might want to send it to your local paper, but also the regional paper like the Boston Globe, for example. I would definitely start there.
I see a question about the National Charter Schools Week Declaration. And so, yes, typically an official week is declared by the president and in many cases governors in different states. We are hoping that the White House will issue a declaration or proclamation for the week. So we're still hopeful that that will happen. And typically Congress also passes a resolution recognizing the week. And again, we're hopeful that will happen. I think this year, all elected officials and government officials and everyone just has a lot going on. So we're being patient and we're making sure that everyone is focusing, their efforts and resources towards really helping families and communities. And we will all be pleasantly surprised when those things happen, if they come through.
All right, I do also see another question. Do you guys have any suggestions for a Twitter strategy?
Yeah, as far as Twitter, Twitter's a great platform in that you can put out a lot of content and it won't overload anyone's resources. So I would absolutely use the hashtag Charter Schools Week on everything that you share that week. Also use above and beyond, hashtag above and beyond, if you're showing the ways that your school is helping with the community. And also hashtag Charter Love, if you're just sharing like what a wonderful community you have, or a student sharing what they love about their school or their favorite subject. And definitely use those hashtags, and we will also amplify those as well.
And we also have another question. How will you share the stories we submit? So we will share the stories on our blog, on our website, and we will be sending the link out after the recording with how to get there.
Two other questions related to social media. As far as images for the school's Instagram pages, we will have some images available, like we will post during the day to share out what the theme is of that particular day. But we encourage you to ask your students, teachers, school leaders to contribute those photos because organic is a very good way to go when it comes to those images on Instagram. There's another question about sample text that will also be sample text for social media that will also be available in the toolkit.
And I see another question that's come in about what to do if you receive any negative comments on social media during this time. So we track social media very carefully, and we understand what you're talking about, like that happens. Our strategy is almost always to ignore it and let it go. And the people that are posting negative things, particularly during a week when we're talking about like how schools are helping families through this crisis, you know, we ignore them, and it turns out that so do most other people. So hopefully we just all ignore them and they will go away.
All right, well, thank you so much for participating. We look forward to celebrating National Charter Schools Week with you.